Mr. Trump also makes a case for reading the Bible. Take a listen to this one.
For thousands of years, the Bible has shaped civilization, ethics, art, and literature, and it's brought hope, healing, and transformation to untold millions and millions of lives. The Bible is also an important part of the American story.
As I have said, President Trump is bringing prayer and God back to America, and it couldn't come soon enough. And that's tonight's rip. All right. Joining me now to talk about this, Alabama Senator, Mr. Tommy Tuberville. Senator Tuberville, thank you for that. Let's talk about this. Has any president in your memory, I can't think of anybody, talked more about God and religion and faith and putting all of that back into America? I can think of authors and commentators like the great William F. Buckley Jr., but not a president, not like this. What do you think, Senator?
Well, not like President Trump. Ronald Reagan did speak a lot about God and prayer back in my younger days and your younger days. But at the end of the day, Larry, we have to put structure back in this country. If you're going to have a team like we have in the United States of America, we have to have something to believe in. And we have the Democratic Party that's fighting against all of this. As you just cited, Tim Kaine, he needs to read the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Thomas Jefferson actually started a university in his state. It's amazing to me, Larry. I started prayer back on college football teams back in 1995. I was the first coach to implement a full-time team chaplain for a football program. And now today, 30 years later, we have one in almost every school across the country. And that's where you have to start. You have to start in family, you have to start in schools, prayer in schools, Bible in schools. When we kicked it out and we turned God the other direction, our country turned the other direction.
You know, thank you for that, by the way, Senator. Thank you for that very much. I just, it just seems to me faith and prayer make us all better as individuals, as families. And work. You know, I always have argued work is itself godly. Work is so important. And if you have faith, you'll work harder and you'll do better. You'll get along with folks better. But I think work is sort of very much part of faith.
There's no doubt about that. It gives you something to believe in, Larry. It gives you something to lean on, some partner that you can work to make something better. There are many times I've gone on my hands and knees, and you don't ask for God to give you anything, you ask just for the opportunity. And that's all we need in this country is an opportunity, but you need somebody to give you that option for an opportunity. And that's what President Trump's saying. Our law enforcement need help. You know, our National Guard needs help. Our people that trying to keep law and order in streets, you see the murders that are just happened this weekend, they all need help. We have a bad addiction problem, a mental health problem. We have so many things going the opposite direction. The only thing that's going to help us is God and God's prayer.
Well, I sure think, by the way, on that narrow point, faith and God will help addiction problems. That's been my own experience, by the way. He also puts in a good word for the Bible and the importance of the Bible and the tradition of the Bible. Now, there's another one, Senator Tuberville. I can't remember a president talking quite that way. Don't keep the Bibles out of school. Don't keep the Bibles out. Keep them in. A little Bible reading never hurt anybody.
Yeah, Bible classes. The schools, Larry, right now, the higher education schools that are really thriving are Liberty. Some of these schools that actually teach Bible study and actually bring young men and women together of all races, of all creeds, and it gives us hope. But we have a lot of these universities that are absolutely the opposite direction. They deny the Bible. They deny prayer. I've been part of that. Again, when I started chaplains in college football programs, I was attacked from the Wall Street Journal. All these liberal newspapers, they came after me right and left, church versus state. We have to get that out of the way and start believing in God again and give our young people opportunities that we had years and years ago.
I just read this again. For thousands of years, this is Mr. Trump speaking. For thousands of years, the Bible has shaped civilization, ethics, art, and literature, and it's brought hope, healing, and transformation to untold millions and millions of lives. The Bible is an important part of the American story. I don't want to separate that church and state. That part, the Bible, I mean, if you don't want to read it, don't read it. But there's a lot in the Bible. And here's Trump. Look, he has often said God saved him for a purpose. His whole administration, the second term, may be providential, okay? But I think it's just quite remarkable that time and again, he is unafraid to just come out in bold letters and say that. And I think he's doing us a tremendous, fabulous service, essentially putting God, prayer, and the Bible back into American life. There's nothing like that, sir.
Well, you're right, Larry, and it's one thing that's been missing, and sometimes the politicians and people all across the country, they're really afraid to bring it up because they know they're going to get attacked by the liberals for this. President Trump will get a major pushback on this by the liberal media. It's coming. They're coming after him because they don't believe in this. They want to keep the Bible out. They want to keep prayer out. They want to destroy family, and by doing that, it's going to bring this country under. So kudos to President Trump for stepping into it and stepping out there on the plank. But he knows that they're going to come after him, but that's all right. I mean, God's going to be with him.
Yes, sir. God's going to be with him. The economy is going to be with him. The work effort's going to be with him. The whole country is going to be with him. Senator Tommy Tuberville, you're the best of the best, sir. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.